Oasis from 2000 with Effing in the Bushes. It's actually one of my favorite alt-rock instrumentals of all time. Naturally, there are many, many more pieces that we could have used here. In fact, if you have any suggestions for a list of alt-rock's greatest instrumentals, send them to me at thesecrethistoryofrock.com, and we'll see what we can do about making things more comprehensive. We'll put it up on the blog and use it as some sort of academic resource or something. In just a second, a look at what happens when it's time to stop playing rock and roll star, grow up, and get a real job.
More of The Secret History of Rock coming up. Back to The Secret History of Rock with Alan Cross.
Chances are you've never heard of James Leah, but he was in a very, very big rock band once. But he decided that he needed to grow up and get a real job. So he quit playing drums with his buddies, went back to school, and is now a very successful gynecologist. The name of the band that he quit was The Offspring. Aaron Burkhardt was also a drummer in a band, and his group became legendary. But when the group was on its way up, Aaron wasn't so sure of where things were leading. Too risky, he thought. So when he was promoted to night manager at Burger King, he decided to do the responsible thing, and he went to work. The name of the band he quit was Nirvana. Those are examples of guys who quit their rock and roll jobs before they actually had a chance to make some serious money, so you can hardly blame them. But what about people who came to the end of a successful ride and needed to find a new line of work to sustain them through the rest of their lives? Let's start with Terry Chimes. Terry was the original drummer for The Clash. He was at the group at the beginning and for a while towards the end. And in between, he was replaced by Topper Heaton. In between stints with The Clash and afterwards, he played for Johnny Thunders and the Heartbreakers. He played with Billy Idol and Generation X. He played in a band called Hanoi Rocks. And for a while, he played in Black Sabbath. It was actually the Black Sabbath gig that ended up changing his life, but not in any way that you might think. On the day he was to play his very first gig with Sabbath, he was suffering from some very serious arm pain. He had gone bowling the night before with the band, and he had really messed up something in his shoulder, and it was so painful that he didn't think that he could actually play, and the gig was in jeopardy. But then someone put a word out to the band's on-call chiropractor. He came down to the venue and fixed Terry up straight away. A couple of stretches and pops, and Terry was able to play that night. This fascinated him. Terry had thought about going to medical school at age 17, but punk rock kind of got in the way. He'd always been interested in health matters, which is why he didn't drink and was a very strict vegetarian. And now there was this alternative form of therapy that could cure people of pain without drugs? Terry couldn't get this out of his mind. Finally, in 1989, he announced to all his mates that he was quitting music to study to become a chiropractor. He trained at the Bournemouth Anglo-European College of Chiropractic. 4 years of that, plus training on the side to become a certified acupuncturist. He even went to work in a hospital in China for 6 weeks just to make sure that he was, doing everything right. He opened a practice in Essex in 1993 and expanded to 2 clinics in London. He sold those a couple of years ago and now runs a chiropractic consultancy business. And as far as I know, he's the only chiropractor in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.